Okay, so normally when you see a car like this wrapped in this black and white swirly camouflage, it's through the long lens of a spy photographer. But today it's a little bit different. We're here at the Ascari racetrack in Spain with Audi for a very special pre-Geneva event where they're letting us touch, feel, see and experience the brand new Audi R8. Now, they're not giving it all away, but there are a few bits of information, technical information, and little nuggets that they're letting slip. So I'm going to tell you about those now before we go out on track and experience this car from the passenger seat. First of all, the styling. Well, as you can probably tell if you look past the wrap, there's a more angular front grille, there's slimmer headlights, and you've got these split front vents here. Pretty similar to its predecessor, but I think when it's all unwrapped and we see it at the show, you're going to see it's a lot more modern design. If we come up the side, well, there's these air vents behind the door as before. And if I feel my fingers along here, it looks like we're going to have the side blades making a return as well. Now, come around the back and there's a few more things I want to point out. You've got the LED lights, again with the unique signature. The twin exhaust pipes, well, there used to be ovals on the V10 version, but they're more angular now. And this thing here, this fixed rear wing, well, that tells me that this prototype, this model here, is the V10 Plus. Now that's one of two V10 powered models that's going to be available from launch. There's no V8 model from launch, but this one's quite special. The engineers tell me this is the ultimate setup for the car. Under there we've got a 5.2 litre V10, but turned up to 610 horsepower. That's almost identical to the Lamborghini Huracan. There will be a less powerful version as well with 540 horsepower. But I think this is going to be the one to go for. Other spec details, well, no manual gearbox, I'm afraid. It's going to be S-tronic 7-speed twin clutch only, 4-wheel drive quattro, of course, as you'd expect. And most importantly, under that skin, it's a brand new chassis. It's shared with the Lamborghini Huracan, but it's been adapted specifically for the R8. So it's made out of aluminium with carbon fiber structural elements, and that means it's 40% stiffer, but weighs about 15% less than its predecessor. The other interesting thing, well, that's the interior, and I'm afraid no peeking. You're not allowed to look at that today, but I can tell you I've seen it. It looks absolutely fantastic, as all Audi interiors do, very futuristic. In there, you've got 7 different driving modes, you've got a switchable exhaust, you've got adaptive dampers as an option, you've got a variable steering system. It's electronic steering, not hydraulic steering, but it should be fantastic. And as this is the V10 Plus model, we've got carbon ceramic brakes as standard. So, I hope you were taking notes, I hope you got all that, but that's enough talking for now. Let's get our helmet on, let's get inside the car, get out on track, and see what this is all about. So my driver today is Frank Stippler, Audi GmbH test driver and LMS driver, and someone who's quite familiar with the R8, I think I should say. Notoriously tight and twisty circuit, Ascari, but I'm sure you know it very well, Frank.
I heard about it before, yes.
So I've just found out some performance figures for this V10 Plus model as well. It's 0 to 60, 3.2 at a 205 mile an hour top speed. I don't think we'll hit that today, but it certainly feels quick enough. So which mode are we in, Frank? Is it the full performance setup?
Full performance mode, yeah.
Yeah.
And what you might recognize is that I have to use a lot less steering angle,
yeah,
compared to the earlier model. This is what we try to improve.
Yeah.
With the less steering angle, it's a lot more precise on the entry of a corner.
Yeah.
And once it leans on the outside wheel during the corner, on the exit, it gives you a lot more support. So the overall corner speed is a lot higher.
Yeah.
Over the bumps of the curbs here, it's more comfortable as well. So this was a very difficult target for the engineers because the target was to make it faster on the racetrack without compromising it on the standard road.
Sure.
But I think they did pretty well.
Yeah.
And we've got a really nice new model now.
Absolutely. The grip, the lateral grip is so amazing, but it doesn't feel like the car's fighting. It's just things happen kind of predictably and smoothly, and those brakes are, make your chest hurt. And and the four-wheel drive system, so you can send 100% to the rear if you need to. How does the new four-wheel drive system work?
Yeah, right. And once it oversteers too much on the edge, for
Yeah.
example, we are more flexible now to put it, maybe if you want to, 100% to the front, just to pull it straight out of the corner.
Yeah.
With less counter steering affordable. So in general, it's faster.
Yeah.
With less sweating of the driver, I would say.
You've probably been enjoying the engine note as well. It's incredible, that V10 noise. And the throttle response.
Throttle response is quite direct.
Yeah.
And you've got, which is quite important for a sports car as well, an amazing engine sound.
Absolutely.
And I think that's a very important thing if you buy a sports car.
Of course, yeah. The supercar needs to be emotional as well,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
Fast on track, but it needs to make you feel good when you jump in it at 8 o'clock in the morning and drive to work.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
I think if you recognize the shifting procedure on the performance mode, there are different competitors where you can't even feel the shifting itself. This is the same on this car. If you drive it on comfort,
Yeah.
so that's possible. But on the track in the performance mode, you still can feel the gear shift.
There's a small
and I
kick,
think,
isn't it? Just a boom.
yeah,
As you
it's,
go-
it's
as you
the right
change up.
amount. It's the right amount of emotion
And
a
that's
sports
right.
car has to deliver.
Sure. And how does the steering feel? Because a lot of people talk about electromechanical steering versus hydraulic steering. Does it still have the weight in the corners?
Yeah,
The
I think
control?
you will like it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
gives you good feedback, and you're quite connected to the front axle and to the tarmac. So
Sure.
I like it, even as a race driver.
Yeah.
The steering system combined with the new clutch on the four-wheel drive
Yeah.
made a big step regarding the drivability of the car and the feedback of the car as a sports car and nearly a race car.
He's good. He's a competitor. You can run him over.
Yeah.
Okay. So, what did we learn there? Apart from the fact that Mr. Schlippler is pretty handy behind the wheel. Well, it's extremely loud. You probably heard the soundtrack going on when we were inside the car there. Probably one of the best sounding supercars around. Ferrari's gone turbocharged, McLaren's turbocharged. This has got that pure, raw, no sound symposers anywhere noise that just makes the whole experience so special. So, it's got the grip, it's got the poise, it's got the emotion. It looks like it's got the styling too. Basically, we didn't want the Audi R8 to change that much for the one that went before it, and on this first experience, it hasn't. It's even better.